Hi, this is Shakwe Tuya, and welcome to my channel. For those who are tuning in for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I want to continue a conversation I started last week. What is your calling? And sometimes when we say calling, it can be a little intimidating. You're probably imagining a deep voice from God saying, Caroline, this is your calling. Or God giving you instructions like, this is what you need to do. That's not how God sounds, right? I'm just acting. Whichever way you imagine God's voice to be sounding like. So I want to use the word strength because I think saying what your calling is can be a little intimidating. So what is your gift? What is your calling? What are your strengths? So when I say a calling, think about your strengths. So God wants to use your strength to bring you before great men and to prosper you and also to bring him the glory. So for some people, finding their gifts is so easy, or maybe they found it when they were kids, and for some of us it takes time. And I'm having this conversation because I know it's so important. Once you find your calling, it brings you happiness and it prospers you. Like I said, there's a scripture that says God will use your gifts to prosper you. So when you prosper, you're happy. When you prosper, the people that are around you will benefit. So one way to find your calling is asking the people around you what you're good at. So I want you to ask your brother, your sister, your family, your uncle, your aunts, your friends. Ask them, what am I really good at? What am I good at? And perhaps they're going to give you an answer such as, you're so good at decorating. You're so good with people. People just gravitate towards you, or maybe children just gravitate towards you, or maybe they'll tell you something like, oh, you're so patient, or they might say you're so forgiving, and then they're giving you another problem, right? You're like, oh, is forgiveness a calling? Is patience even a calling? What am I going to do with patience? What am I going to do with forgiveness? You ask. I'm glad you asked, because if you're really good at forgiving and if you have patience, then you're so lucky, because those are very rare virtues to have. So if you have patience, I'd say use patience. Look for careers that require patience, or become an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur requires a lot of patience. So there goes your calling. Or if somebody's telling you you're so good at forgiving, look for leadership positions, for instance. Being a leader requires a lot of forgiveness. You'll help people, and then the same people are going to really backstab you. They're going to talk about you. They're not going to be so nice, some of them. And you'll get those moments that you'll need to forgive and let go a lot. So as a leader, I know for sure that you need to let go a lot. So if someone is telling you, or people around you are telling you you're very forgiving, then maybe you should look for leadership positions, or look for a career that requires a lot of that, public service. So continue asking. I'll give you an example of someone actually who took that advice and it worked for them. Her name is Gigi Butler. Gigi Butler, in 2007, she quit pursuing her dream. She thought she was called to become a country singer. So she moved all the way to Nashville to pursue that career. And she pursued it for about 10 years. So she would go to auditions and she'll get a lot of rejections. They'll tell her, you're not pretty enough, your voice is not good enough. And she kept on. She had so much patience. She kept on pursuing it, but she wasn't successful. One day she said she had looked for a job. She had started a business to clean houses so that she can feed herself while she's pursuing singing career. So one day she said she was cleaning for one of her clients, and this client had a teenager who was singing and playing a guitar, and she listened to that teenager, and right there she knew that singing was not her calling. So because of listening to the teenager, she knew that that teenager was called to sing. So she quit pursuing singing. And then at the same time, when she was discouraged and giving up that dream, her brother had gone to New York. And her brother called her from New York and said, "Hey Gigi, I am in New York and today I spent 1 hour lining up to eat a cupcake for this popular store that sells very popular cupcakes, and I ate red velvet. And guess what? Your cupcakes, Gigi, are better than theirs. I think you should start a cupcake business." Perfect timing, right? So she listened to her brother. To her, baking came so naturally. So Gigi started a cupcake business, and I googled, as of 2013, Gigi Butler Cupcakes was bringing in revenue of $33 million a year. I don't know how much they bring in today because she sold it to a private equity company, so those numbers are private. But Gigi Butler Cupcakes there's about 100 Gigi Butler cupcake stores in America from just listening to the brother. So that's why I'm encouraging you, ask the people around you. It's so hard to see yourself clearly sometimes, but people around you know you and they know what your strengths are, they know what your weaknesses are. So ask them, what am I good at? And then perhaps the answer will lead you to prosperity. You might not make millions like Gigi, but you'll prosper in your own way, and it will bring you happiness, and you will bring God the glory. So maybe you're so good at cooking. If somebody is telling you, "Oh, you're so good at cooking," or people love your rice, your chapatis, your mandazis, I would say start charging people. So if people are saying, "Oh my God, I'm gonna come to your house eat because I love your chapatis," or whatever, or they're inviting you to their house to cook for them, start charging them and then guard that recipe. Do you know these popular restaurants, all of them, they guard their recipes so much because that's what differentiates them from the competition. So I'll tell you the same. You have a family recipe that is popular and people love your cooking, start charging people. If they ask you, if they tell you, "Hey, come cook for us," say, "Hey, I charge." And people will be happy to pay you. And then probably you're out there wondering, "Oh my God, what am I good at?" Or, "I'm looking for a job, seen a job, I'm so broke," and all that. Yet you're sitting on a gift. Yet you're sitting on something that God is waiting to prosper you on. So that's one way I wanted to share of finding your strength. Another way is watch what you're talking about a lot. What is it that you talk about all the time? That even your brothers, your sisters, your friends, when you start talking about it, they roll their eyes and say, "Oh my God, there she goes again," or "There he goes again." There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Out of the mouth comes the abundance of the heart." So perhaps what you talk about a lot is what actually is your calling. So start paying attention. Pay attention, and start experimenting. So I wanted to share those two things. I know this is a very important topic, at least for me, because it took me time to find what I'm good at. And I have a feeling there's somebody who is lost somewhere, or maybe you started a career, it's bringing you a lot of money, but you're not happy, and you're wondering, what are my strengths? You're trying to change your career, you're trying to find a way to follow your calling. So those things, try those two things, or the things that I said in the previous video. Or maybe you just graduated high school or college, or maybe you're happy with your other career and you're looking for something more to do. So try those things, asking people what you're good at, and then experiment on them and build on them. So thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, I appreciate you guys very much. I'm out here. It's a beautiful day. God bless you. God bless you and prosper you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.